All right. Looks like we are live. Okay, pull up our Photoshop view here. And let me just get a few things thrown together. I was looking through my sketch folder as I was getting the live stream up, and there's a couple sketches that I was thinking would be cool to work off of. Excuse me, so I'm going to pull them in real quick here. So here's two. And there. This, I was playing with learning how to work in with an ink dip pen. Let me, well, I'll zoom in for now. You can see what I'm looking at. And then I think there are a few more that I would like to add, but they may be in a subfolder for a different year. Gotta check last year real quick. Probably around December, January that I was doing these. And okay, so here are the other two that I was thinking of. I'll pull these over. There and there. Okay, so now these two were not done with a dip pen. These were, let me zoom out here. Let's do like one of these numbers. This guy can go up there. And then you guys can come on over here. There. There. Something like that. I don't know, the balance is throwing me off. I want it to be... I feel like this guy's got to be up here, and this guy's got to be down here, and then this... Oh, it's killing me. All right, whatever. Sorry. Just gonna have to live with it. All right, so you can see I'm going on a kind of a motif here with these kind of curvilinear lines. This one I can, let's compress the black in there. It's got a little wavy. So let's go boop, 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 boop. Push that over. And maybe we'll go a little, yeah, that's good. So let's look at that again. And maybe zoom out one more time so we can see the whole image. So like these rock formations with this kind of curvy motif. This one, very similar idea, but much more sparse on the black ink. And then similar idea here, but it's a little looser. You know, I'm not trying to like do all these like structures and stuff. I'm just kind of throwing this foreground element in here, and then like a scene that goes back into space. And then this one I was playing with, like bringing in a mech and having a, you know, I don't know, some kind of moon or something behind it. Okay, so we'll play with those sketches. I'm just going to glance real quick at my sketch folder and just see if there's anything else in this vein around that time, because you know you kind of get into a groove with something. Well, there's this. This is, whoa, hello. This is from the Pocket Sketchbook. Little slice of life thing right there. You know. So all good things. All good things. All right, so I think I will. How do I want to approach this? I can either choose one and just dive into it, or I'm thinking I might just take take all of what we have here and maybe even make them smaller and then work with them as variations on thumbnails. So we can take the same drawing, underdrawing, and just play with different lighting and color compositions on it. So I think I might go that route because I don't know, it sounds fun. All right, so I'm going to duplicate this, take the originals here, and we'll just call this sketches. It's Control G if you're curious. And then these ones, I'm going to do Control T. I'm going to shrink them down. We're going to hide the sketches folder. And then I'm just going to kind of lay these out. So Alt-Shift. And I believe you can do, actually, no, I think that's transform, so we don't want to do that. There's a way you can do this where if you take one of these, so let's say I do Alt, click it, right? And then I do Control T and I move it over, like so. Now, if I do Control Shift Alt T, it'll repeat that action. Oh, come on. I think I need to actually like transform it a little bit, so we'll give it a little wiggle, move it over like that. Now let's try our Control Shift Alt T. Nope, still stuck on the last function we did. You know what? Never mind. We'll just do it this way. Alt and Shift. The old-fashioned way. All this automation. Make an artist lazy. Oops, daisy. You guys are important. I will add you to the queue. We'll paint a couple of you guys. Keep it light. And then we have room to grow. All right, I'm going to close my sketch folder. I don't have any reference pulled up. I might I might pull something up just to have just some palettes or things to think about, I guess. So I know I've got one that's like farms and storms and rocks and stuff like that. Natural atmosphere and that sort of thing. All right, so that would be PureRef painting profiles. And what was that one called? I need to delete most of this stuff. Okay, I think I found it. All right. So I'm going to set all of these to multiply. So first of all, I'm going to just apply this one. Actually, I'll just get rid of that curves. It really doesn't matter. I'm going to grab all these, set them to multiply. Then I'm going to do Control G to group them. And then I'm going to name this thumbnails. It's kind of a clean as you go type thing, you know. Okay, so now we're going to do a new layer underneath. I'm going to lock, I'll just lock that so I can't move them around or anything. And then let's grab a couple different colors here. Seems like, I don't know if it's Photoshop tweaking out or if it is Google. Sometimes Google wants to be in focus. Chrome, I mean. The Google. on the interwebs. Sometimes, yeah, sometimes Chrome wants to be in focus and causes problems with my hotkeys and stuff in Photoshop. I can't abide that. All right, so I'm gonna go, I think, a little more yellow with this. Let's get that on the foreground color. And then this one I'm gonna go yellow green, but like darker, like that. Okay. And we'll start playing with that for one of these down here, I think. I'm just gonna block this in. And one of the things I want to do here is make a separation between this thing in the foreground and these background elements here. And one way we could do that is to kind of imply that color has some meaning, right? So we could say maybe the higher elevation, the more green and rich, the green, you know, the bluer and richer it gets, right? And so you're kind of giving this visual cue that there's something different as you go up. So we'll slide that kind of more towards yellow and a little bit brighter as we go down in elevation. So there's like a gradation from here down to the valley. Okay. And this is the nice thing with thumbnailing is, you know, like, well, you know, why would you do it that way? Well, it doesn't really matter. We can try it this way, and then if it works, great, and if it doesn't, we do something else, you know. But again, it's that opportunity to like utilize color to tell to kind of give a visual cue. All right, let's kind of mute that a little bit as it goes into the background. Now that's another thing that might be interesting. Like, you know, I left this white here, right? So, do I want to go with like a blue, kind of like a white stone, but like maybe it's reflecting like a bluish light or something from the sky? And then, is that going to get confused with that kind of gray in the background? Dunno. We got these little houses and structures here, which I'm going to say, let's just say they're made out of the same material as the stone that's available. Right? That kind of makes sense. And I think we had a few houses and structures back there. We'll brighten those ones up a little bit. This background, I think I want to go a little richer into those really kind of warm yellows back there. And get that as it comes up here. And I think we'll go even bluer up here. These guys as we reach the peak. Just throw a few specks in here to these associated with each other, you know. This. I think I liked that better when that was peeking up above the top. This is associated with this over here by color and value. All right, that's probably as good a place as any to stop, and then we'll go on to the next one. We'll go richer blue, and this one have these spaceships in the background here. And so maybe we'll focus attention on those. Might be kind of interesting. And I always kind of saw these scenes as like Red Earth. I don't know why as I sketched them out, that's just kind of the way I thought about them. And again, with like the kind of color language and the like visual motif, um, just set up some rules for yourself, and they can be different, right? So like this one, what I'm gonna do, I'm thinking is I'll just have, whatever's top facing, we'll give that this kind of softer, sandier color, and then whatever's like side facing, give it this warmer reddish color, and then we might come up with a third for shadows. So not sure how much we'll need to do that, because we're kind of doing like a daylight scene. So shadows would be pretty sparse and just like kind of points, contact shadows, I guess you could say. That I think I'll lighten up, make more yellow. It should kind of fade into the blue, I think, if we're doing atmosphere here. So we'll kind of just make it a little grayer as it recedes in space. And then this, maybe same thing here. I'll grab that color and let's make this richer and more yellow as we come towards closer to the camera. And this might be fun to do as like a gradation, like within each shape. So like if this is one shape up here, we could do kind of one color value on this side and then grade it over to like another value on the opposite side. That might not be coming through the stream particularly well, because a really kind of subtle color doesn't really care to come through, unfortunately. Okay, and then for this one, our houses, what should they be? Made out of. I want, so like I said, I want the ship in the background to be kind of a focal point. So maybe that's white with some like red on it or something. And then this house, should we have it kind of blend in maybe? So lighter, like a whitewashed structure, but maybe blending in just a little bit more. This kind of reminds me of a place um, that my brother and I drove through. We were coming across um, the United States, driving from San Diego to New York. It's quite a trek, if ever you decide to do it. And we were kind of just coming across the southern states, and then kind of came up diagonally through St. Louis into eventually up into Ohio, and then over around the Lake Erie to New York. And anyway, there was this town in Arizona that just had. It actually reminds me a lot of a town in New York that we live near, but it just felt like it was burnt to a crisp. There was something about it. Little toasty shacks and stuff. And I don't know, it might be kind of an interesting motif to introduce into this one. So I'm thinking maybe like white or gray haze in the background with, I think we should just turn these hills back there just straight up purple gray. When you say straight up purple, and then you say, nah, not really straight up purple, just purple gray. So we'll go here, we'll go over, down, maybe there-ish. Get these guys locked in back there. My apologies if your beautiful home is in Crispyville, Arizona. I'm sure there's got to be a reason, When I look out the window when we're flying, and you look at the edge of a city like Phoenix, and you wonder, why did anybody stop here? There's no water. The city just ends abruptly, and then it's just barren, it seems like. But I have to trust. I gotta trust. Somebody had a reason to build a city there. But my gut tells me it was just like Oregon Trail going sideways. Oregon Trail. Gotta say that right. Oregon. Like we were on our way, and then things went a little south, and then we kind of figured, let's just stop here. That's what it seems like to me. But somebody more educated, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, we'll do like a little town down here. We'll call that Crispyville down there, and then, well, I kind of wanted this to be a little more subtle up here, so maybe we'll play with that again. You know, but then I want these ships to be kind of the highlight, right? They're like they're coming in to the lonely planet. Here we go. Add some little crispy bits to Crispyville. Toasted structure. Okay. Maybe some shadows under these. Like that's an undercut there. Maybe this is like an opening in the hillside. A little light there. We shall reconsider that one. Let's do a third. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, I kind of want to lighten this one up here. I like that it's overcast back there, but I want to lighten that background a bit, and then maybe just throw something really quite gray in there. Like that. I think that changes the mood of that one. Might even throw that kind of in here. Maybe we'll go off of this motif with the brighter color, brighter white. Not quite that bright. Okay, so a third color scheme. So we got kind of the red sand, red earth. We got kind of the green foliage. I'm gonna look at my reference board over here of different farms and stuff. See if I can get some inspiration. That looks like home, basically. Like rolling hills and so forth. Okay, here's an idea. Look at this one. So the greens and the sand, stone combined. I like this yellow with like kind of these burnt. I mean, they're dark, obviously, but just it looks to me like this, like Crispyville, you know. Is that gonna be tonight's? Tonight's brainworm, Crispyville. Okay, so let's do that. We got like a yellow green, ever so slightly blue gray in the shadow side of the earth. Okay, I think I'm gonna start with the darker stuff, and this I think I'm gonna go. Yeah, we'll keep it in the kind of green zone. We got monolith code in the chat. This is welcome back, Eric. Thank you. Yes, I assume you mean welcome back from Lightbox. That's pretty great. We went out there. We visited some friends in LA. and then showed at the convention Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and it was awesome. I think got to meet with a lot of people, which was cool, and I talked to a lot of students. Sold a bunch of tanks. So if you weren't there, you weren't familiar, I went showing fantastic tanks. So I didn't do any of this other work that I have. I just wanted to show that. I think it was kind of important to focus down on one IP and give that a fighting chance. And it was really well received. That was great. So, yeah, looking back at the chat, I was just about to ask how it went. Glad it was great. Yeah. So yeah, we sold a bunch of tanks. My wife went with me, which was really great. Normally, I just kind of do these things by myself, or I have a couple of different art comrades that I'll bring with me, and it was really good to go with her and to do the event together. Partly that's just so that she can see a little bit more of what I do and kind of the people involved with that and stuff. And then partly it's nice just because it's great to do stuff together and kind of be involved with each other's worlds rather than kind of just being individual, like an individual partnership where like she does her thing and I do mine. I don't think it's not healthy for us. I might be so bold as to say that I would recommend for anybody have some projects that you do together. So that was good for us to do that together. And yeah, in terms of the show itself, I think there was a really good reception to the tanks. It's funny because there's a certain amount of salesmanship in some of these things that you do, but like with goofy tanks, you are not going to convince anybody to fall in love with goofy tanks if they do not like goofy tanks. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to like persuade them. Like, hey, come on over here, check this out. I got a deal for you. Like if they don't like it, they don't like it. But it was so cool to see the kind of the rubberneck thing where people will be walking by and they're glancing around and then they see fantastic tanks and they just like immediately know like that's their thing. This is my tribe. These are my people. So by rubberneck I mean like you're looking around and then like something catches you and you kind of turn around sideways. So yeah, that was cool. We got a lot of good responses. Basically sold out of the larger tanks, and also, well, I mean, basically all the 3D models that I brought essentially sold out. What I mean by essentially is one got dropped, and if that's you, I forgive you. I actually didn't really care that much when it happened. It's one of these weird things where like, yes, I wanted to sell it, and yes, there was some expense to make it and to bring it out to LA, to get it there, and so it's not like I'm thrilled when things get dropped on the floor, but I also just, I don't know, you get to the point where you make enough of these things that they're not that precious to you, like you can make another one. And in a way that actually turned out to be like a kind of a blessing in disguise, because it was one of the models that people really liked. And that means we held on to it. We didn't sell it because it was broken, but we did sell it. The buyer just wants a new copy, which I'm happy to do. So and then there was more than one person who wanted to buy that, and then ended up buying something else. So anyway, in the long run, count your blessings. I guess it's not every dropped piece of merchandise is a loss. That turned out to be to have sold itself more than once because of that fact. So not bad, not bad. I got to meet some cool people. And lots of students, and I knew that was going to be a part of the show, and I enjoy that. Just encouraging young people who are getting into the art world and in the video game entertainment art industry. So that was cool, and let's see what else. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the YouTuber Cynics. He does some art commentary videos and stuff. He dropped by, picked up a tank, which was kind of funny because he was trying to get a tank, but he was kind of mobbed by adoring fans. It took him like 20 minutes to beat through the crowd. Let's see, do I want blue or gray for the sky? I'm gonna go with like a deep blue. So there were several people that I wanted to meet at the show that I knew would be there. A few that I reached out to and connected ahead of time. To say like, I'm going to be there. I'd like to meet up if we find some time. And then once we got there, man, the show was so crazy. Like just so much. There was so much going on that it was not going to happen. I had a really hard time leaving my table, and my wife, would cover. But like, obviously I wasn't going to just like leave her to it when it's busy and people want to talk to me about the art that I'm making, and then just be like, well, I'm leaving. If you want to buy something, my wife will help you. So I tried to stick by the table as long as there was interest, and then as things slowed down, I kind of moved on out. And even then, if it was slow for me, it wasn't slow for the people that I was trying to meet up with, and so that never really happened. Yeah, what else? We showed a lot of products for the first time. A lot of things that we made, a lot of things that we made for the show that will be kind of ongoing things. And then also, I really wanted to elevate the Fantastic Tanks brand beyond what I have in the past. I've known that it's been interesting and like it's a cool IP. If I do say so myself. Gotta have some humility, but I have fun working on it, and I get good responses from people pretty regularly. I know that it's not for everybody. It's tanks. It's silly, and that's not everyone's jam, but it's enough people's jam. That it just finding the audience is the important thing for that. That being said, hold on one second. Gotta get the right color here. That being said, I want to take it to the level that I don't have to kind of say, you see where this is going, right? I want to take it to that level of finish where people see it as the vertical slice of what the ultimate vision is, right? And so that was the goal for Lightbox, was to take it from kind of proof of concept. Uh, you know, isn't this an interesting idea? What do you think? To nope, here's the full pitch. This is the full vision of what this thing is and what we're doing with it. And so anyway, that was the goal for Lightbox, and I think that certainly paid dividends to see people's response um, to the bigger picture of what it is, and that also means that I have a lot of catching up to do elsewhere to show all the development that we made with it. I honestly have not really kept up enough, or really much at all, on Facebook, Instagram, that sort of thing, to show the development of the game, the development of the product itself, and the packaging and all that stuff. So there's a lot of catching up to do in communicating the brand. I don't know how I got on that or why, but that's where I'm wrapping up that thought. So let's see. Do we want to associate these, maybe have them be these rusty ships up there? So we can have this motif of, or palette rather, of what do you call that? These are all kind of warm colors except for the blue. Looking at the chat, definitely stood out from all the prints. Buying a little model was a great idea. So I assume you were there then. And we must have spoken. I'm gonna just put a little like a gray near the horizon past those hills, just to kind of push this all forward. I'll kind of even it out flat, and then maybe we put a little more in here. This is the wrong brush for it. I'll get something softer in here to push this foreground element closer. So maybe we take this kind of light yellow, white, and we start building in some clouds here. It's interesting, seeing that kind of gray, really pale gray, next to that blue makes the warmth in it really come out even more. And then do we want these guys kind of up above the clouds or in the clouds? And with the clouds, I'm really tempted to get out the smudge brush and give them a kind of a whole treatment to them. In fact, let's just do it. So grab this, and we'll just start kind of shredding these up. I like the idea of them being kind of larger masses, you know, so that we kind of see them as kind of one unified graphic shape. But I also like the idea of like kind of this archipelago of clouds, you know, where there's little islands and they overlap each other, and we just see little bits of sky coming through it. So both of those ideas are attractive to me. We could definitely have done this as a separate layer, so that so the sky behind it is nice and clean. But at this point, I honestly don't really care. We're just kind of blocking it in. And I'm definitely taking way longer on these for thumbnails than I should, but I'm talking lollygagging, so, you know, it is what it is. And then we've got, with the smudge brush, we can hit Alt to kind of lay down any areas that we want to add the clouds into. Nah, don't love it, but let's give it a fighting chance. Add a little bit more brightness into it. I'm going to extend this here. Whoops. This would be kind of a neat opportunity to show like a path, you know, a treacherous path going up. Treacherous, is that the right term? A dangerous, perilous pathway ascending the mountain. And then, yeah, maybe have some clouds down here too. So we're up above the clouds. So that we need to go above the sketches, because we got these set to multiply. So here we're gonna go up and above. Should this just be like cloud you're looking through? We're in it. Getting too artsy. Now, that'll never work. Never, not in a million years. Okay, I think I do want to clean this up a little bit back here. You know, we gave that a shot. We gave it a fighting chance in the real world. We didn't like it. Let's just clean it up a little bit there. I want to go with something a little bit more intense in the midtones as far as saturation. There. And going back to the idea of more graphic shapes for the clouds. Yeah, I don't know. It's okay. I was going for these bands to give it a very clear, delineated shape, but it's kind of it's kind of fighting against the motif of these more puffy clouds. I don't like these shapes anymore. They don't give me joy. Looking at the chat. Yeah, this is Gareth. I think I was there Sunday. Hard to remember. I had a busy weekend. I remember the name. I will have difficulty putting the face to the name, though, and I apologize for that. But, I really want to recall every single one, every single interaction. But it is difficult to when you see so many faces back to back to back. It's difficult to keep it all straight. But yes, I think you came and told me that you watched the stream and that you had a random YouTube name that not even you remembered. So. Okay, let's go. I'm gonna go like a orange. I don't know if this is the right decision or if there really is a right decision here, but I just kind of want to warm up the caps of these as we come down here. Or do I? I don't even know if I like it. Let's go deeper with these. Let's make this a little more rich in the midground. And then, do we want like a yellow, like an orange yellow? Something like this in here, just straight up painted in there. And I think I'd like to kind of soften that all down to gray. Um, Reestablish those rooftops there. Sorry if that's a super annoying noise over the speakers. The microphone, the interwebs. Start softening this back up again. Reintroducing gray, and then I think I'll go with a gray closer to the caps. So like that. Yeah. There. There really is something to paying attention to how color shifts as you go from your lights to darks. And I'm sure there are some rules out there, and I'm not going to give you any. Not that I don't want to. It's just I think, you experiment with it and you see what's interesting. I think generally speaking, you don't see incredibly rich values in the darks. It tends to be more towards the midtones. But again, saying that there are rules and then throwing it out there, like they're just kind of there to be tested and pushed to their limits. That makes sense, and that's partly what makes, in my opinion, can make things really interesting. I'm just gonna clean up those shapes a little bit. I've spent way too much time on this one. Thumbnail. I don't even know if I can legitimately call it that. I mean, it's small, but... Alright, let's move on to some of these other ones up here. Do a new layer. One thing we can do real quick while we're here is I'll do new, set it to overlay, and we can just throw a little bit more light and oomph. Is that the right word? A little more value variation in these scenes. It's real quick and dirty. Usually a lighter value above middle gray, of course, and then if you want to tone it to be warm or cool, that's going to make a difference. And then I'm going to go with like a middle gray with some saturation to it. I think I'm going to go with like a blue, and that should tone all this back. See, we're kind of pushing that to purple. We might actually go green, and that may give us more. No, not quite. Got to nail it with this, with what do you call it? Overlay, in order to mute a color. But I don't like what that's doing, so I'm going to go back to like a purple. And I may just nuke all this because I'm not a huge fan of the purple. Let's see. It's okay. It's okay. We might just push it back a little, and I'm gonna introduce it in here a little bit. Add some variation in there. And down in here. I suppose some in here wouldn't be too bad. I'd go with the blue for that one. And then we can diminish the value and just see where we want to land with it. So 33 is like safe. I kind of like the intensity of it. We'll go around. Just go 100%. It's all right. It's all right. It's going to be all right. Okay, so let's go back to this paint layer. See what we can do with this moon scene over here. We'll go blue. And then we'll start to lighten it up. Not warm it up, lighten it up. And then I think we can go with like a bright value for our mech. We get some mechs in the background there as well. One right here. We could lighten this up. I don't know if we want to do that. And then let's go back in with a richer blue. Go bring this around the core shadow. And here. Okay, we got an overlay layer that's at 100%, so we may as well play with it here. We'll get some purple. I'll start layering that in. Shift that more towards blue. I wonder if we just push all this back in the background, make it darker. Don't like it. Maybe going halfsies was okay. All right. We darken this horizon here. It's like a little hillside. Start to layer those. All right, that's okay. Let's do maybe another orange world. Oh, that's with the overlay. Oh, this will be kind of fun to work underneath the overlay. underneath the overlay. What if we go like super dark with that? And then maybe for our next, we go just a little bit purplish. That's like super red. Kind of like that palette. That's kind of nice. I kind of like it over here even. Oh my goodness. Man's going crazy. I'm thinking like a green gray moon over here. Nah, I liked the handling of that before. All right, that one needs, we got overlay there, so this one needs some overlay attention. Dum 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 dum. Got a little glow. Atmosphere in there. What am I even doing here? I don't know. Throwing some purple in that background. I think it needs more of that gray. And then maybe as we push towards this background, we just grab that kind of purple, push everything back. Have it recede in space, in theory. And then I think we need some reflected light from this guy here. I'm saying those words, but I'm not actually doing that right now. So grab that. Bring that in here. Let's see, what am I making here? Making a mess. Hmm. Okay. Um, I think they all have their merits. It might be nice to throw some little, bright specks on these. Something about that ice world feel. Okay, I'm just gonna take this whole area here, and I'm gonna do curves, color balance. I know we're like handling all of these at the same time, but I don't know, with a similar treatment, I'm gonna pump the contrast. Okay, we'll do color balance. I really like what's happening right there. Kind of making those colors, making those warm tones richer. Okay. And I always comment on this. It's always interesting to me when I do a color balance and I kind of hem and haw about getting it right, and then it ends up being really similar to where we started. So I will probably eliminate this, at least down here. What's going on here for the curves? And how are we looking on this one's fine, though I think it'd be good to delineate these. Okay. Uh, uh, uh. add some, but not a lot. Okay. What time is it? 1:45. So if we zoom in on these, and look at the mess we've made. I like this one. For sure. This one's alright. That's okay. This one might be fun. This is a little outlandish, but you know, it could work. So for this one, I think it'd be cool to like just kind of bring everything down. I'll do like I think we'll just do like a darken layer. Just kind of add some grit to it. Okay, I'll do a new layer here. Start chopping out some of these shapes. Let's see. I think I want to just trim that down there. kind of the weight and gesture of this thing is bothering me just a wee bit. I think I'd have to zoom out to really get a good handle on that. But I want it to be all kind of leaned forward. And it's got this weird kind of gesture going on here. Let's see if we can start to sort out the shapes first. Shift this value, or this hue over rather, right here. And maybe do a little shift there. Maybe a catch light or something in there. Yeah, it's like super shiny. Rough it up a little bit. This is kind of running tangent with this shadow here. So I will cut off that shadow there and kind of extend that. And then I think this whole kind of gesture is off here. Maybe this needs to be down like so. Let me get rid of that. I don't know. There was a certain like tension in that I liked. nope, nope, nope. That. Could work, could work. Hmm. Okay, I'm kind of noodling at this point. Just doing whatever comes to mind. Kind of like when you see it and you just want to fix whatever immediately bothers you. Mm, I like these transitions here. Kind of warm to muted greenish in there. Yeah, they look like perfect little, what do you call that cereal? Not Cheerios, but I mean, I guess Cheerios would do. Those cup of noodles. Really pretty terrible stuff, but anyway, this looks like a bunch of those like slammed onto the surface of this thing. It's a great sales pitch. It's like that nasty cereal, it's kind of gross, gummy. No, soup, more like a gross soup out of a can. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, I don't even know. Let's do overlay just to get some more color and light variation in there. Darker up here. And then maybe in the just on the termination of the shadows on this. And then I think I'll go like lighter and try to mute that on these guys. I couldn't tell you why I want to do that. Why do I want the kind of focal point to be a lighter desaturated value? Don't know. Couldn't tell you. But I want to try it. Because I felt like it. That's why. Nah, not a big fan of that. I like that being a little subdued back there. Yeah, I think I'll push that back. And then that's pretty intense, but just looking at this as separation by shape, by placing this shape in the background. Man is making a mess. I wonder if we can go, like, put these, like, dark hills back behind these other ones here, and then that pass in front of that, like, moon type thing in the background. I have this hunch that if we go, like, see, even it's like middle red, it's gonna look totally gray. Let's see how far we can push that to where it's still very much red. I mean, that's pretty red right there, and then appearing as gray in our scene. Push this value. So I'm kind of, I don't know, I'm tempted to just go to silhouette on this edge since we're like against that background there. It wouldn't make sense in terms of like lighting, but I don't know. Might be fun to try it. Man, gotta be honest, I am pretty tired. I think that kind of comes through with the lack of talking. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Push that all the way to black up there. And I like this. Even though that's kind of like an anomaly of like the other painting next to it. I like that bleed over with kind of the softer, cooler purple kind of bleeding into the red. Yeah, so actually I think to make this work, this would be like a whole other ball of wax here, but whatever, let's do it. Let's go lasso tool. Just start grabbing this character right here. Guess we'll use all that stuff back there too. This, that part's okay, I guess. Something like that. So we'll do Control Shift C, Control V. And I Control click on that layer. And then, actually, you know what? Here's what we'll do first. We'll just grab this whole section here. And we'll do the same thing. Control Shift C, Control Shift V. SpaghettiOs. That's it. That is exactly it. All right, and then I'm going to go to the smudge tool, and we're just going to smudge this out. We could do content aware fill, but I don't know. I feel like doing this right now. So I'm going to do that number. Okay. Guess we get rid of we had a little mech in the background there too. Now the trouble with smudging is that when you go across black, you know, you're going to lose all that saturation. So having even bright colors next to black, like our deep red, once we start smudging, all of that just goes kind of flat. I want to leave that ball in there, kind of like that looking thing. You know, content aware fill would have taken care of that in like a second. But where would all the fun be? Not here, that's for sure. I'll bring this red across here. Okay, guess we can nuke this too. Probably to leave the shadow. Because I don't think the shadow would change that much when we adjust our max. So a couple things I want to do here. We can, of course, lean him forward. So he's got more kind of momentum looking. And then we can do, what was I thinking? We could do, liquefy or warp to kind of get the pose we want. I'm relatively happy with that pose. So I kind of like the idea of him. He's leaning forward, right? On the heel brush. He's leaning forward. And then maybe this is pointed up in order to kind of make the forward motion look more, I don't know, to contrast it. So we can either go down with it, right? So everything's leaning forward. Or we can kind of try to contrast it. I think we could lift this up and have a little more drag there. But as that side comes up, I kind of want to tilt him like this side down, this side up, if that makes sense. I think I'm just making a mess. Let's go to our heel. What is it right there? Reconstruct. That looks just a little bit stale, I think. And then, can this look perhaps more solid? Or should it be? I don't know. We'll go with that for now. Okay, and then I want to get that mech that was back there. This guy. Right here. Nope. I guess that's okay. We'll do Control Shift C, Control Shift V. We brought him back in. That's probably a better spot for him, but I think I will push back his value so that he doesn't compete with this thing right here. And what we can do with this is we can set this to lighter or lighten. We're just taking our darks and we're pushing them up a little bit. In fact, we might just do this. Lighten here. We might just do it across the board. Push that one up back there. Oh, we just get rid of any black that's in there. That was unnecessary. Okay. Man, I don't even know. Just playing with this thing. SpaghettiOs, that's a great descriptor. Let's push this one up in value. I mean, I gotta push in all those shadows to be brighter while preserving their shape. Here, I think we could make a choice here. I kind of like the edge being lost. And then here, let's see, what is this? That's darken? Or no, that's lighten. Where's darken? Oh, that's it. I see. Yeah, I need a darken layer. So let's do darken. And then I want to push all this that's bright there. Push that back. Kind of neutralize it all. Do another darken layer, and this time we'll go kind of lighter on the yellow orange. this guy. Do a new layer here. I'm going to go richer and more red with this. I don't think I'll end up keeping that side, but I'm just curious what it would look like to. It might actually look kind of nice just to have a really subtle edge there. Should probably make this like actually round though. Only there were tools to do that. It's actually not that bad. What is he doing? It's kind of fun. Okay. Where was I? I was doing this right here. It's like everything's red. How did that happen? All right, let's do some color balance curves. Let's see if we can just kind of play with this. Okay. Of course, we had that applied to everything. The color shift, I like the introduction of those greens in there. It makes it like super gritty, but don't like it much otherwise. So I'm going to adjust that to my liking. And then here, I think I'll mask out this planet type. Whatever the heck that thing is back there. Moon. We might even make it, might be interesting to just take that whole thing and make it darker. So we just go to darken. Push that back. But it's just mainly bright on that side. Yeah, I'm not sure how much that helps. Gotta zoom out to see it as a whole composition. Yeah, it's just a little bit too garish for me. You know, I like the greens in there, but it's just not subdued enough at this point, and I don't really feel like battling it out to get it to feel right. But all these, I think we can constrain to that area so that we're not using those layer adjustments on these other areas here. I'm going to go to new layer, overlay, and see if we can squeeze just a little bit more of it. I don't like that purple. Maybe a blue. This multiple suns thing is messing me up. It's like super rich red. This is where the commentary is not very helpful because I'm just saying the obvious. Just I'm looking at that, and that is just so very much red. I'm just gonna feather that out, I guess. Damn, I made quite a mess in there to clean up. Uh, hmm. I don't even know. I feel like this could go on forever without any real solid endpoint. Like I look at this model or this subject, and I think that there's a lot that I could do to start kind of clarifying, bringing it out, drawing it out of this kind of murky soup, abstract, uh, abstract approach here. But I also don't know really that it's got a great direction to it, you know. Though I guess, you know, keep hemming and hawing for the purposes of these live streams. The point is just to explore and do things that might not work out. And in this case, I like the exploration of this analogous color scheme. Not something I do too often. Usually go with the complementary. But I don't know. That'd be cool. Give it a go. It's a fuzzy mech. Hmm. Don't know. Not a huge fan of this. I think it might be the yellow. Excuse me, that's bothering me. Um, Let me see about pushing that out here. We could go Just kind of come in behind it here. To adjust this so it's not strictly tangent with that leg. I kind of liked that it accentuates it, but I don't think that it needs to be I don't know, it's kind of distracting to pulls you into that. I'm like getting all dressed up with nowhere to go. Grabs your attention, says, hey, look over here. And then gives you nothing to look at. Okay. Okay, this is definitely one of the rougher results. But I think I need to pause. It's funny looking at this now, I could see things that like I kind of want to just paint right over and, you know, like redesign these things. You know. But anyway. I could see this being like in motion this way. Hmm. I don't know. Let's cordon that one off. You know, it's a good stream when even the host is yawning. Yawn. Let's. Actually, kind of like it showing more of this guy up there. Should this cut off like so? Or should it have this white emptiness down here to kind of give you, I don't know, cloudiness to be peeking through? This one I want to introduce maybe a little bit more color into that white. A little bit of that blue in there. And then maybe we have those ships in the background, like more kind of these dark, overcast shapes. Whereas here, I wonder if we could use the yellow instead of the rust value, really make them pop out. Okay, I think we'll stop here. Let's just get caught up on the chat. Go full screen with that. Yeah, something like that. All right. Monolith Code said I started taking a portrait class recently. For one of the assignments, there was a reference sheet of a bunch of different sculptures. One of them was something I remember seeing you do a painting of on stream a few years back that I really liked, so I had to pick that one. Kind of cool to just chance upon that, though. Yeah, that's awesome. I would love to see what you're doing with that. Trying to think what would be a good place to share. I mean, guess if you're on Instagram, just if you share it, hit me up on there and message it to me. See it. Yeah, I think that's it for tonight. This was a fun exercise. A little bit slower. Well, a lot slower than I was hoping for, but sometimes I underestimate just how tired I can be. I don't know. I always feel like there's more I want to do, and the day always closes before it's all done. So maybe that's a sign. Maybe I need to learn how to manage my time better, or manage my expectations. I don't know. Okay, so that's it for tonight. Thank you for joining in, and I should be back here next week, I believe. I did Lightbox last weekend, and it was cool to see some of you out there and meet up with a bunch of people. And then this coming weekend, so a week from Friday, I'll be out in Whippany, New Jersey, kind of west of New York City, showing the tanks there at Legions Con. So if there's any East Coasters that would like to come out to that, support Fantastic Tanks, support my work, meet, have a chat, I'll be at Legions Con on I think that's the 11th and the 12th. So, yeah, looking forward to it. And hopefully, I can make some headway in the next few days so that, I'm not pushed right back up to the last few days, Wednesday and Thursday, getting wrapped up for that show. We did a ton of prep for Lightbox, and that was a lot of work to get together. And I know that it will be a fair amount of work to get ready for Legions Con, but I think I'm all kind of tooled up from what I've done with Lightbox. So I think we're ready to kind of roll into that. So anyway, thank you for joining in tonight, and have a good night.